Another major NASCAR silly season domino has fallen as it has been announced that Harrison Burton will head down to the NASCAR Xfinity Series to join AM Racing in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said today, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has been announced that Harrison Burton will head back down to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. He will drive the number 15 car for AM Racing in the 2025 season. Here's their statement from Statesville, North Carolina. AM Racing proudly announced today that recent Daytona Cup Series winner Harrison Burton will join the organization to pilot the team's flagship Ford Mustang entry full-time in the Xfinity Series, beginning with the season opener at Daytona, Florida International Speedway on February 15th, 2025. Burton will join the Statesville, North Carolina team following a 3-year stint in the Cup Series, driving the famed number 21 Ford Mustang for the iconic Wood Brothers racing team. Here's what Harrison Burton said. "I'm excited to join AIM Racing and help build it into the race-winning team I believe it can and will be," said Burton. "I think this will be a great opportunity for me to take things I've learned in the Cup Series, bring those to the Xfinity Series, and be the best driver I can be. It's a blessing to continue my NASCAR journey, and I intend to make the most of this amazing opportunity." It was also confirmed today as well that AM Racing has renewed their technical alliance with basically the Roush Yates engines, and they will continue working with teams like Haas Factory Team in 2025. Here's what Wade Moore said. "AM Racing is proud to welcome Harrison Burton on board," offered Wade Moore, president of AM Racing. "He is a first-class individual and has already proven that he will immediately impact each team member here at AM in a positive manner. His experiences across NASCAR's National Series will position him to be a leader and a catalyst in our pursuit of victory lane, and the goals are ultimately envisioned for this program." I had heard about this rumor of Harrison Burton going to AIM Racing for a couple months. I know Harrison has spoke to the media a couple weeks ago and had said that he had talked to some Cup Series teams, but with all the Cup rights pretty much announced at this point, this is really the best option that was out there available. I had thought there might be a chance and possibility that he was going to go to the Haas Factory Team for 2025, but obviously it was announced that Sam Mayer would be driving the 41 for the team, and Sheldon Creed was going to be driving the 00 car for the team next season. I think of Harrison Burton as a very solid, well, not the most solid race car driver on the Cup side of things, but you go back to when he raced in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Harrison Burton actually was a solid NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. He scored 4 wins in the 2020 season, driving the number 20 car, didn't have a great time in the Truck Series, moved up to Xfinity, and ran a lot better. And then you think about all the other stuff that he has done in that team. He had a decent year in 2021 while he didn't go to victory lane with Joe Gibbs Racing. He still had a decent year. I feel like one of the biggest issues for Harrison Burton was he got rushed up to the Cup Series way too quickly. And I do expect him to run a lot better in Xfinity than he has in Cup. That being said, AM Racing, we all know, is not the fastest organization in the world. They struggle with Hailie Deegan. Now, Hailie Deegan, there's no doubt, has been the problem for that organization. And yes, Joey Logano did get a top 10, but Joey Logano barely made it to the field. Had he not basically had about 0.04 of a second quicker than the guy behind him in qualifying, Joey Logano would have failed to qualify for AM Racing. So they really are going to have a lot of work to do to get better. I don't expect Harrison Burton to go out there and contend for wins, but I do think Harrison Burton is going to do better than what Hailie Deegan has done behind the wheel. So realistically, what are my expectations? Well, realistically, I think top 20 points should be realistic with this organization. If he was driving for a team like Roush, or if Penske brought back their Xfinity program, I would probably put a lot higher expectations on him. But the Xfinity field is going to be very stout next year. You're obviously going to have drivers like Connor Zillis joining in Xfinity. You're going to have guys potentially like Carson Quaffle coming in. You're going to have potentially William Sawalich next year, Taylor Gray coming in. You're obviously going to lose some guys like AJ Allmendinger and Shane Van Gisbergen. You're not going to have Hailie Deegan next year, of course. You're obviously also not going to have most likely Riley Herbst and Cole Custer. So you're going to have some guys moving up, but Sam Mayer's going to Haas Factory. Sheldon Creed's going to Haas Factory. We know Ryan Seek's shown some improvement throughout the season. You've got Christian Neck is moving up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Same with Nick Sanchez. Yes, you're losing Park Claremont. You're replacing him with a really talented and good driver. So realistically for Harrison Burton, he just needs to make sure he can make every single race. Because like I mentioned with the AM Racing organization, they have not been the fastest organization overall. And I really am worried that Harrison is not going to have as strong of a season. That being said, if they give him a lot more support, and they do give him the support that I think they should be giving them, I do think realistically Harrison Burton could run solidly. I think the goal is top 20 in the standings. I think getting some top 15s and top 10 should be the goal for this team a lot more consistently than they've shown this year. And they need to find a crew chief that can work with them where they don't basically bring in the competition director as the crew chief for this team. Now, the other big question we asked, could Harrison Burton make some Cup Series starts in 2025? That certainly is a possibility. I know there's a rumor out there about him making some part-time Cup starts at Rick Ware. We do think the 15-car Ford Ricker Racing will be an open entry next year. It's rumored that Rick Ware is selling one of their charters out to RFK Racing since Ryan Preece is likely going to the third RFK Racing seat for 2025 as they are expected to expand next year. I think Harrison Burton, though, will do pretty good with this team at times, but I also do think some struggles are going to come along, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes drivers that are young especially do end up struggling in a pretty big way. So I do think Harrison will have some good runs next year. I do expect him to be really good at super speedways. I also do think he will do better than what Hailie Deegan had done, but I do think the expectations do have to be realistic for this organization compared to other organizations. And like I said, if Harrison Burton was driving for Haas Factory, I think he realistically would be a legit championship contender. I don't expect that with AM Racing, but I do think he will do better than certain drivers behind the wheel, and I certainly do expect that he'll make every single race next year, more than likely. There's a good opportunity for Harrison, though. I really hope he can make the best of it and run really good with this organization and team. I want to see Harrison succeed. Harrison's a really good dude, in my opinion. He's got a lot of people to support him. The Burtons are very much a respected family, and I think Jeff being involved with this program as well, it could bring sponsorship into the team, which I think is something that team might end up struggling with just a little bit. So nonetheless, I'm very happy for Harrison. And again, I really hope he can make the best out of this opportunity and run great with this organization next year. Because all these drivers succeeding is good for the sport. And the more competition you can have and the more people that are competing up front, I think it's better for everybody. So I'm happy for Harrison and good to see that Harrison does officially have a ride for the 2025 season. I hope he can do really good and run really strong in the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. There's a lot of other big moves coming down the pipeline. We got one we're going to be talking about today between Corey LaJoie and Justin Haley. Expect that video later today as well. So that is going to be today's NASCAR news and motorsports news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Harrison Burton is going to perform in 2025? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We got another video dropping here in a little bit. We'll talk about the Corey LaJoie and Justin Haley news is coming out later today between a potential driver swap between both those guys that could be starting early. We're also going to have reactions to Cup Series qualifying. We're going to have the Xfinity race review, and we're also going to have the SVG video most likely dropping. Then on Saturday, we're going to have a NASCAR Cup Series race review and the starting lineup video as well. And then, of course, on Sunday will be the 2025 silly season predictions along with a very long NASCAR news video on Monday that could be split up into 2 episodes. Got a lot of great content dropping. We'll talk about drivers like Bubba Wallace as well. Maybe talk about Carlos Gerbish in the future. Maybe Kyle Busch as well. We got a lot of great content dropping these next couple weeks that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.